look at yourself in the eyes and tell yourself that you love yourself. Just say I love you to yourself. Because that, I think that is really hard for people. I really genuinely think that looking at yourself and saying I love you is something you have to like get used to doing. It's not, it's like a very hard thing, I think, when you're first starting to do it.
With us today, we have Steph, Dana, and myself, Braylon. Well, let's kick it off nice and good here with how did you guys fake it last week?
I onboarded a new employee.
Yay.
It is very, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm in a management role now and I've never actually had like a team before. So it's an interesting dynamic when you have to second guess, like, before you say something, like, should this information be coming from me? No. Okay, I'm not going to say it. It's weird. It's weird to have to think in that manner. I'm hoping it gets easier as, you know, I continue on my management journey, but very uncomfortable because I'm just there to get the job done. You know, it's team effort, but I don't know if what I'm doing now is going to impact my future. I don't know. Growth is uncomfortable, and I am super fucking uncomfortable right now.
That makes sense. Dana, what about you?
So I got my crowns fitted over my 2 root canal teeth, and obviously, as you guys know, with the dentist and stuff, like, obviously I have a really big phobia of the dentist, but also like you have like not great sounds and like its feelings and stuff, and it's just like a sensory hell, really. But I had my little fidget in my pocket. I had a crystal with me. I had my audiobooks, and I just kind of faked my way through it. Got through it somehow. It was not nice, but I'm loving the fact I've got teeth I can use again. So
Yay! All good news. For me, I think the biggest thing is I had a doctor's appointment that did not go the way that I wanted it to go, maybe. And so this whole week I've just been kind of trying to not think about the stuff that she told me since I don't know anything for sure yet. So, but that definitely is weighing heavy on my mind, and I have to do more tests and blood work and stuff soon. So kind of just like faking it by ignoring that really until I know what's going on, I guess. Trying not to get too wrapped up in what ifs, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's understandable.
Yeah. So
the unknown is for sure the hardest.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's no reason to worry about what might not even be, right? So I
think as well the unknown is scary because like you don't know, whereas once you fully know, then you can prepare and stuff. But yeah, it's understandable that you're feeling the way that you are.
I'm kind of enjoying the unknown, though. It's like Schrodinger's box, right? The cat is neither dead nor alive. It's like I can just live in this temporary limbo of everything is fine until I know for sure. So faking it big time. Yeah. It's funny,
everything
though.
Will be fine regardless, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's funny, though, that it's interesting today we're talking about body positivity and self-acceptance, and my physical health is front of mind today with me. So
hell yeah.
What do you guys think body positivity like means to you?
I mean, I struggle with this one. Not like I struggle with like body positivity, but I struggle with like healthy body positivity because there's a lot of body positivity movements that don't necessarily promote a healthy lifestyle. And that's kind of where I draw my line. Like, yes, have body positivity, but let's instead promote making better choices, right? Like, because body positivity is not just like be happy with however you look.
I mean, at its core, it is.
Do that. Yeah. But
you have to take care of yourself too.
You got to take care of yourself, right? Like, is it body positivity if you are not taking care of yourself at all? and you are overindulging and you don't exercise and you're in the worst health of your life and you develop diabetes.
I don't think
and
that
it's
those things, I feel like there's, if you're not taking care of yourself like at all, I don't think any of those people are actually practicing body positivity in the slightest. It's only
That's
the people
fair.
who are taking care of themselves that I think are the ones that are like, I care about my body, so I want to take care of it. It doesn't make sense that you would love your body and really be thankful for it and then treat it like absolute trash, at least in my mind. Like those two things
Yeah,
don't go together at all.
I
I don't
agree
think. Yeah.
completely. But I feel like that's what a lot of the movements are that I see on the internet. It's just like, it doesn't fucking matter. Just like love yourself regardless. And it's
Well,
like,
I
yeah,
think
that's a
that's
great
important.
concept.
Yeah.
But you should,
But also,
it's not
here's something
healthy.
else. You don't know if somebody else is healthy based on a photo you see on the internet. You have no
Totally.
idea. Like, we can't judge other people, because one thing that I learned when I worked at like an intense fitness gym is you don't know what strong looks like. There is no typical body that looks strong. I would see people who you would maybe think like on the street that they were not strong, and then they were deadlifting, double their body weight. But you would never know by looking at them. So that's like something I've learned, is that you don't know what healthy looks like on people. You don't know what strong looks like. And so it's like, how are we to know, unless someone's like your friend and they're treating themselves like trash? Like, then you can be like, hey, maybe you should take care of yourself. But I don't think we can look at photos on the internet and go, that person's not healthy.
Right.
It
Dude,
looks so different for everyone.
I learned that lesson firsthand yesterday. So we ended up pulling the trigger and replacing our couch, and the FedEx driver was a young woman, probably about the same build as me. She could lift those motherfucking boxes. I could not. I was like, oh, she's lifting them. I can do. No, Steph. No, you cannot lift those boxes. And like Verona struggled with them. I was like, she's a fucking beast. Holy shit. Like, how much do you think she can lift? And Verona's like, I don't know, but it's fucking a lot. What does body positivity look like to me? I don't know. I'm just trying not to look at my own body and be like, ew. Instead, I'm trying to be like, okay, you worked out this morning. You're probably not going to look like this in a month. Keep doing it.
I think that is still not body positivity, though.
Yeah.
Because
No?
your goal is to change the way you look. And the goal of body positivity is to love yourself regardless of how you look. Like, love yourself as you are now, right now, in this moment. That's body
This is
positivity.
a potato. I don't want this, though.
But that's and here's the thing that I always say too. We grew up, like me and Steph, we're in our 30s. We grew up in the 90s. We were teenagers when it was like Nicole Richie and Paris Hilton and heroin skinny. This was what was plastered to us our whole childhoods. So it is, when I look at a skinny body, in my mind, I'm like, that body has more value than me. That is like ingrained in me, and it's getting rid of that. You have to learn to love yourself now as you are. That's what, at least for me, is so hard.
Is it value or is it confidence?
Well,
because like
for me, it's 100% value, because I know that I would feel better and like I was worth more. This is just me and my fucked up brain if I was skinnier. And when I look at photos of myself and I'm skinnier, I'm like, my brain's like, I want that. That's what I want. But it comes from a total place of like bad mindsets and unhealthy body image issues.
Like,
Dana?
I've come to full terms. I'm never going to look like that again.
What were you going to say, Dana?
I was going to say, body positivity to me, I don't know, looking in the mirror and not hating what I see, being kind to my body, not like avoiding looking at myself and hiding my body under like loads of clothes so I don't have to be confronted by the change that has happened since pre-COVID, Dana.
That's like what I'm trying to work on too, is just like looking in the mirror and complimenting myself and like really trying to accept the body that I have now. But I just feel like because of the time that I grew up in, it's it's going to take some time of me like just breaking down those walls.
To
That's
build
really
onto
interesting.
what you said as well about growing up in the 90s. Obviously, I didn't grow up in the 90s,
But you were right there almost.
like 2 years of it. But growing up watching like Disney Channel and stuff, all the characters that were shown to us as fat, like this is a really fat person, was actually just a really healthy sized person, like a normal
Yeah.
sized person. Think of all the times when you like, I think there was like a Sweet Life of Zack and Cody episode where Maddie, who I would say is like a normal sized person, was saying that she was fat. And like as a child, being like having someone say they're fat on a TV show that is like a healthy size is really fucked up.
Yeah. Think about too, even in Disney, a lot of the princesses are just like absolutely so skinny, and a lot of the villains are overweight or are ugly in like the sense, and it's just like, what does that do if you have a face that looks like the face of a villain, and here they are saying ew, gross, like in the movie. Like it definitely
everywhere.
yeah. And it was like from the start, when you were a little tiny girl, it just gets slammed into you like, oh, this princess is beautiful and she's so skinny.
Yeah.
I haven't watched kids shows recently, but I hope that's changed. I hope that it's definitely more like showing young girls as more active and ways that you can continue to move your body instead of just like be a princess and wear makeup. That's all that was shoved up. Barbies were shoved down our throat. The most unrealistic body standard
no
a woman
kidding.
could have. Physically impossible. That is what we were given to play with. Are Barbies even proportioned now properly?
I think maybe they're better. I hope. I don't know.
Some that you can get
Google.
that are like plus size, but even then, are they actually plus size, or are they just a healthy size?
They're just a regular size. See, that's the thing too. I think that they've even conditioned us of what is plus size and what is healthy, and we don't even have correct images of like what that looks like.
Yeah. It's bad. So it's like,
and it's not our fault. It's entirely the media.
No, and I don't know. Like, I don't know. You
or
kinda
your
threw me with
parents.
that. Oh yeah, parents.
My mom was really good about like never complaining about herself in front of the mirror and never like making negative comments about her body in front of us. But I know that some people's mothers specifically have messed them up quite a bit.
But also, like I was always really skinny, like growing up, like because I had a fast metabolism, and like people would always comment on that, and so like part of my personality was the fact that I was skinny, and so like now that I'm not, I'm like, well, like what am I now, and that's like really awful. But like constantly throughout childhood, I was literally told, oh my gosh, you're so skinny, you're so skinny, and like now I'm like, I'm not skinny, and I'm like, well.
You're just like, cool. Thanks.
Hey, what's this gonna do to my mental health?
It's like a weird personality trait. Why call that out? Like and it's honestly, I snapped at someone at work about this because like I lost a lot of weight. I was in a very unhealthy time of my life. I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't eating. I was having way too much Adderall. I was pulling all-nighters. Very terrible, very unhealthy time. I dropped like almost 50 pounds in 3 months. And someone at work had made a comment. She's like, you need to kind of like fix it because like you can see your collarbones. And I'm not going to say the comment that I said back to her, but at the end of it, I was like, you would not appreciate me commenting on your weight, regardless if it was up or down. Do not comment on mine. Wasn't having it.
Yeah, we need to work on better practices as a society, for which I think we are getting better. Like little girls today, they're like, you're so strong, like, wow, look what your body can do, it can run so fast. Like we didn't have that shit.
Like I'm in the phase of my life where I've never been in shape. I've never worked out consistently. I've never stuck to like clean eating or even like relatively healthy eating.
Yeah, like see, you're somebody that's skinny but might not be somebody who's ultimately really healthy.
I don't feel skinny.
I
That
mean,
is not
on
a
the
word I would use
smaller
to describe
side.
myself.
But
And I remind myself of that all the time. Like as huge as I look in my eyeballs, I look at the size of my clothing and it's like, dude, you're not that big. Like
Yeah,
you're
it's
just out of shape. So like now when I look at my body, I just like I don't know what my body looks like when I'm taking care of it. So that's where I'm like, all right, I'm unhappy with this, but stay consistent and you're probably not going to look like this in a month. Like I'm focused on health. I want to be strong. I don't want some dude to have to help me like load my car for an event. You know how fucking embarrassing that is?
yeah.
I can't lift my own equipment.
That's a better goal than trying to say my body's going to look different. I wouldn't
Still wanna look
focus
good.
on that at all.
Why can't I not want to look good? I
'Cause
want
it's
to look good.
Thinking
then
about
you're
your body
upset.
now not looking good is not practicing body positivity.
Yeah,
Body
you're
positivity
making
is
yourself look bad now, and that's not good.
exactly. You're
That's my
basically saying I don't
motivation.
like the way I look good. You need to find a new motivation. That's why it's not working. Is it working for you? I've known you for like 3 years, and the entire time I've known you, I'm calling you out right now. You have said, I'm going to work out. I'm going to start working out. And your sole reason has been, I want to look different. It's not working. Find a new reason. You want to be strong and lift your own equipment. That is a great reason. That's more powerful. That will
It's not
keep you
motivating
going.
enough. It doesn't. It's not. I'd have
Then
done it.
fine,
I'd
you
have
need
done
to
it.
find
I've wanted
something
to be strong
better.
for years now too.
That's true.
So I'm doing my best. I've been trying to find any reason to get active, and I
Oh.
found that like consistency with the morning routine and an evening routine, and like taking my breaks during the day to fucking put food in my body,
That's
and is
helpful.
like
You can't move if you
necessary,
don't eat.
right? Exactly. And that's been a hard thing because it's like, well, I don't want to overeat, but I'm like, hey, dumbass, if you don't put this food in your body, you're not actually going to have any calories to burn. You're not going to get in shape. You're just going to stay where you are.
What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
I was just thinking,
Literally.
like, essentially, food is your fuel. You know, if you don't feed yourself, you don't have fuel to keep going.
I remembered. You don't have to also think about that you have to exercise. I, like a long time ago, completely removed the word like exercise from my vocabulary. I don't even say it anymore. I just say I need to move my body, which could be walking around. I might move my body a lot at work, playing with the dog. Like it doesn't if you're like, oh, if you've been trying to exercise for a really long time and you're not doing it, find something else that you can just get started with moving. Like you can shift your focus. It doesn't have to be like I have to do a program or lift weights. Like you could just move.
This ties
Yeah.
into something I was looking at this morning, which is mindful movement. It's like not the same as exercise or working out. Like it's about tuning into your body and asking yourself what you need. It's not forcing yourself to do something you hate either. It could be walking outside with your dogs or, just looking at the sky, the flowers, the trees, kind of the world around you and being mindful about everything around you. Could even be roller skating or, yoga, hiking, whatever, like dance party in the middle of your room, like
Mhm.
whatever is moving your body that you enjoy is the key, because if you're constantly moving your body in a way that you hate, you're going to eventually stop, for one, and then also you're just not going to be enjoying it, and that's not loving your body. That's not being kind to yourself either. I think as well you need to just make sure like you're being present and aware like during that time too, because otherwise you just kind of, I don't know, I feel like humans are very busy people. We never have that mindfulness to just slow down, move your body in whatever way you want to do, be present in the time, not thinking about, oh, I've got 10 more minutes and then I can go in and do this. It's just be in the moment while you're moving your body.
So can I ask a serious question, like not sarcastic at all? What if you fucking hate working out? I hate it. It's the worst thing I've ever done in my entire fucking life. I hate every fucking minute of it. Every minute feels like an hour. I hope it gets better.
Stop saying that you hate working out. Like literally stop saying that and start to say, I'm learning to love to work out. Like seriously, if you tell yourself that you hate something, you're going to hate it. Also, like it doesn't like it if like you're just gonna hate it if you tell yourself you hate it. So stop saying you hate it. That's
my
God,
if it's that fucking easy, I'm gonna rage. I'm actually gonna rage.
Stop. Move your body in a way you do enjoy. You know?
None of it's enjoyable. I'm a potato. I
think
have no strength.
I would just start with your language, and even just every time you catch yourself saying like, "Oh, I hate working out," say, "You know what? I'm learning to like this. I'm learning to like this because I want to love my body and I want to take care of myself, and it's important to move." Like, give
I think
yourself
the
some
other
little
thing,
affirmations.
I'm not like convinced I'm gonna like it. I'm not sold on that. I don't believe that anyone can wake up in the morning and go for a 5-mile fucking jog
Well,
and
no,
actually
but you
enjoy
have
that
to
shit. I
find
think they're
something that you
lying.
like. Some
Yeah,
people
Dana
do
Space,
like that.
that's how I feel. I
Some
don't believe
I
that.
I don't.
I
Some
enjoy the
people,
Ring Fit. That's
yeah,
fun.
I
Destroy
love
monsters.
cycling. Cycling is like, I get on that and I want to like cry from joy. It's so fun. Like, you just have to find something that you enjoy and stop saying I hate everything and I'm gonna hate everything.
I was just hoping that once I actually started getting in a little bit of shape, it would become enjoyable. Like, I love the
No.
idea of getting up and doing
Mm-mm.
something, and then I start doing it, and I'm like, this sucks.
It will get
This is the worst
easier,
part of my
but if you
day.
don't enjoy it, you're never gonna enjoy it.
Like
If
I
you don't
have
enjoy it from the start.
Cassie. That's enjoyable. I'm moving my body. I'm dancing with my cat. We're listening to good music. It's all good things. I never go, oh, do you know what? I really hate dancing with my cat because I love it. I love it so much.
Okay,
But
see,
yeah.
that makes a lot more sense, right? Like, I don't know. I haven't mastered lying to myself to the point where we like start
Fake it.
believing our own bullshit yet.
Yeah.
I
You have
haven't
to
done that
fake
with
it.
working out yet.
In
I'm
fun
gonna
ways
try
as
it.
well, like just dance, Ring Fit. Like you like gaming, bring gaming into it. I saw somebody who plays like Mario Kart and all those types of games, Animal Crossing and stuff, but they've managed to hack it or do something where they actively have to walk in Animal Crossing.
Yes. I want that.
You
I
can
want that so
also
bad.
get a mini trampoline. I feel like those for ADHD people are really fun. And then you just bounce on there like whenever you want. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. And then the other thing you could try is walking. Can you get a walking pad? Because you have one already. Walking
I
for
did it.
me
I
is
fucking
like,
did the thing. Now
is
when
like,
I play Zelda, I gotta be on that motherfucker.
I mean, you should try to say you don't have to, but
Well,
if it
I
helps
get
you,
to be
I get
on
to
that
be.
thing. I get to be on that motherfucker.
Walking for me, I want a walking pad so bad because I'm like, I could just walk all day and then you don't have to exercise. Boom. You walked all day.
I did the research, 2 months. It's got a 10% incline on it. I wanted a 15%, but I don't think they make a 15%. I couldn't find one anyway on daddybezos.com. So I ended up with the 10%. And I did it for a little bit the other day. It's a workout. I was on it for like 5 minutes. I got a little bit sweaty.
Don't do
a little
the
bit of a sweaty
incline
girl.
then. Start easy.
You can't not do the incline.
Oh, I got you.
It's like it's all the I did so 2 months of research. I've literally been looking into these because I've been on the fence about it because it is a lot of fucking money and I don't need another thing, right? Steph, stop spending fucking money. So I talked to Rona about it. And in our research, like even when you're out and about, you have incline and decline. So if you're just walking flat, totally flat with your feet, you could roll your like ankles and stuff. Like they're not technically the best for you. You should get one that has like from a doctor, pediatric, whatever thing that I read that was probably just written to sell fucking walking pads with incline. It recommended at least a 5%.
That makes sense. Do you know what I have been doing that I think really helps with body positivity? So the media is what I blame for fucking us up so much. So I have been using media to help me unlearn those things. And specifically following people who are like my size or bigger, who are really proud of their bodies, that show them off and talk about them in a way that's really loving and beautiful. And it makes me realize that I can love my body too, just how it is right now. By seeing other people with my same body be like, I'm so happy, I love this, like look at the way it squishes and the way it moves and how it carries me, and I'm so thankful for this, has been helping me a lot to kind of unpack my own not great things.
Something I found interesting today when I was doing research for our template, I went in like a little bit of a deep dive in the fact that there's body positivity and then there's body neutrality. which I think is kind of actually really interesting. So like body positivity is like a social movement, advocates the acceptance of all bodies, like regardless of size, shape, gender, skin tone, physical abilities, like just everything is like acceptance. It empowers others to take part and embrace who they are, and that's really good. Like that's really important. But body neutrality is neither loving or hating your body, but like it's based on the notions of like acceptance and having respect for your body rather than love. So, like, it's prioritizing the body's function, what it can do, rather than its appearance. And it's also used to help people build a healthier balance between food and exercise because, of course, not only is it about your appearance, a lot of these things in media has really fucked with people's relationships with food as well. So, like, the approach acknowledges that your body is only one part of who you are, not the whole part of you. It also shouldn't dominate how you feel about yourself either. Like your body is largely influenced by genetics and that's all out of your control. You can't change or manipulate it, and trying to do so can cause you harm. Like, so
I love this.
So if you like so the website I looked at, it said if you like affirmations, then you should go for body positivity more, but if affirmations don't seem authentic to you, then you should try maybe body neutrality a bit more. It can also help you work through your feelings, and mindfulness plays a major part in body neutrality as well.
I really
like
love that. Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna go look into that a little bit more.
I really recommend
it's
it.
like
it's so interesting.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I'm gonna go look into that more because like my relationship with food is honestly where I started on my journey to just be like a healthier person. And I'm not the kind of person like I can't do like cold turkey. I can't just cut something out and like not eat it. Like the cravings are terrible. I have very terrible self-will when it comes to food because it's like my crutch. Like I'm a stress eater. And I've talked about this in therapy too like a lot, and we're trying to fix it, but I mean something that helps, like don't keep the bad food in the house.
No
but
food's
it's like
bad.
it's okay to have bad food though. It's okay to have something that's literally fucking sugar, but moderation is everything. So like if you're gonna order a pizza at 10:53 at night, which we fucking did last night because I was really hungry, only have one piece of pizza. Just
That's
one.
still,
You don't need fucking 3.
That's still actually not a very good relationship with food, though. Because
Yeah.
a true good relationship with food, no food is good or bad. And I've been following a lot of intuitive eating coaches, which is funny. If you talk to men about intuitive eating, oftentimes they don't understand because men grow up and they eat when they're hungry and they don't eat when they're not hungry. Majority of them. It's just nobody's putting pressure on them about what they eat. Girls get comments about what we eat our entire lives. Are you really going to eat all that? Are you not eating today? That's a lot of food. Like we grow up, again, society, thanks for the just absolute mindfuck that you give us. But what I've been really learning is that just the act of like, no food is bad food. If you want a cookie, you need to eat a cookie, because if you eat a banana, like that whole, oh, well, if you don't want a banana, you're not really hungry. That's bullshit. If you want a cookie, the only thing that's going to satisfy you is eating a cookie. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Have you seen the Snack and Glow plates?
No.
It's essentially like have the cookie, but then also add in some protein and something else so that it helps you feel fuller. Otherwise, you're going to grab loads of cookies and you're not going to feel very full or satisfied. But you still get your sweet thing. Your
I
sweet
like that.
And you add like some protein to that. Some I can't remember what the other things are now. I'll definitely put it in the Discord for sure. But yeah, there's just like loads of different things that you add to it to make it more filling for you. And that's so much nicer than just going like, oh, I can't have a cookie, I have to have a banana, or having a cookie, ending up eating like the whole packet because you're hungry, and then you feel bad about yourself because that's not nice to feel.
Do you know what the intuitive eating coaches say to do if you have like a food that you really want that you've been restricting yourself? Like say like you really want cookies every day and you say, I'm only going to have one cookie, but then you end up eating 3 and you like don't have a lot of self-control and you just like eat the whole thing. They say 2 things. Allow yourself to eat that food whenever you want, as much as you want, for as long as you need, until it no longer becomes this special thing. The longer that the food is like a special treat for you, that you like have it in your mind that it's a bad food and you can't have it unless you're good, that's the messed up relationship part. So eat the thing as much as you want until you're like, holy shit, I no longer want this anymore. She said for some people that can mean indulging in it frequently for a year before your brain is like, okay, I'm over this. But I use this thing called the hunger fullness scale now. And I've been doing this maybe for like 4 months, not a very long time. But the hunger fullness scale basically gets you like in tune with your body and how you feel. And if you're really hungry, you eat. And if you're not hungry, you don't eat. And that means I might have lunch at 10:15 some days because I had a small breakfast and I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. It might mean I'm getting ready to go to bed and I get hungry and I'm going to eat something before I go to bed. I don't care if it's 10 o'clock at night. It's really learning to just listen to your body's hunger cues and go with that. And it's been really helpful. Again, just using TikTok and videos and listening to people talk about this
I like
helps
that
me use
too.
it.
I
You
mean,
don't have to think about it. I don't like think about food. I'm just like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. What sounds
Yeah.
good? Like
I
it's so
do-
Yeah.
easy.
I do find it's
Do-
interesting that we all have bad experiences with media growing up showing us like the negative things towards bigger bodies or like eating lots of food, but then TikTok has been this thing where like I found out about the second glow plate from TikTok. Like
Mhm.
you just seem to have, I guess there's more things on TikTok, so you end up getting exposed to healthier aspects of people's lives.
absolutely. So, Braylon, do you and your significant other kind of follow like the same food journey like together? Do you find it hard to stick with it if he's not?
He cooks for us, so but he usually makes like, I wouldn't say that they're like necessarily like meals that are loaded with fresh vegetables and greens, and like we make a lot of packaged meals and stuff like that because we're two, disabled people essentially. So we make a lot of stuff that's easy, but I just like, no, I don't have to struggle. He eats pretty good. And then if he eats out and he's eating out a lot, I'll go to the store and get myself my own prepackaged meal. So if he goes through like a bad phase where he doesn't want to cook, I'm like, cool, I'm not eating McDonald's every day. So I will be going to the store and buying my own frozen meals, which I think is still better than eating out. But really, for me, it's just about stopping when you're full. And the easiest way for me to tell is, and everybody does this, and it's really funny. I think I might have talked about this before, but the second that you're full, you take a really deep breath. So if you start paying attention to this, the second that I take that deep breath, I'm like, oh, okay, I think I'll stop eating now. Maybe a couple more bites. And a lot of times, like my plate, I don't finish it, where I used to always finish my plate. So I think that's like been like, no matter what we're eating, I'm just going to try to not overeat unless it's really good. And I make a conscious decision to overeat, even though I know I'm full. I'm recognizing I'm eating past fullness because that's okay too sometimes.
I think growing up, I was always like told you have to eat everything on your plate, like
Yeah,
Same.
and stuff. So like trying to unlearn that now is really hard, especially
So
when you have
hard.
like I've been out with colleagues and they've gone, oh, you haven't eaten everything on your plate. Like I think that's really wasteful and stuff. And I'm like, actually, it's none of your fucking business.
Oh, I have
paid
a good thing to say back to them. It's wasted whether it's in my stomach or in the trash.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no
just-
difference.
There's no
Ugh.
difference. I'm
It's
either pooping it or it becomes someone else's poop. Like
I just don't get like the need to comment on people's food, like especially like I
Yeah.
find myself getting like to the point where someone once commented, oh, you better finish all that, and I did, and I made myself so ill because I was too full and I felt awful, and then for the rest of the night I felt so rough, and everyone was like, oh, she's drunk too much, and I only had one drink and it was because I'd eaten way too much. And it's that there's something in me where I feel like I have to finish my plate and I feel guilty. And so I'm already wrestling with my inner self of like going, no, we're just going to leave this and we can still have pudding if we fancy a pudding. Like, that's okay. If our body's like, we're sick of this now, but actually I would really quite like an ice cream. Like, that's fine. But then having someone else then go and comment on it, it really messes me up, like, for sure.
give it to them. Be like, here, do you want it? Oh,
Yeah.
you don't. So you're wasting it. Got it. Okay. My bad. Figured you wanted it since you felt the need to comment that it was not getting eaten.
Maybe we need to do like I wonder if there's something such as food neutrality that is not like, food is good and bad, because they really do say to like teach kids nowadays like that there's no such thing as good food and bad food. Some food is more nutrient dense than other food, is like how they put it. Some food is less nutrient dense, but it's fun for your mouth and it tastes good. But I'm going to look that up after this just to see if there's any kind of food neutrality movement.
I'm curious too. I've changed a lot with my eating habits. Like
It's
growing
hard.
up, I was required to finish any meal in less than 20 minutes, and I had to eat all of it.
That's crazy.
And I wasn't allowed to leave the table until it was done. I would be there. Like my parents would go to bed and leave me sitting at the dinner table if I didn't want what was on my plate. So even now as an adult, like I've unfortunately timed myself because I find that I eat things way too quickly. The other thing that's really been helpful, don't drink any liquids until the end of your meal.
I do that.
Because I didn't know that was a thing. Same. So you end up filling up on water, and then you add food to it, and then you've filled your stomach, but you haven't had enough food because you've had more water or drink. Same with beer. And then it's just you end up bloated, then you're hungry an hour fucking later.
But then I heard, like, if you feel you're hungry, that you should drink something first because you might actually be thirsty. Yep. And now I'm wondering, I do that. Is that some kind of diet culture bullshit?
Yes, probably.
Is it diet culture? Because I've been a hydrated motherfucker. Like if I'm feeling hungry and I have breakfast, I'm drinking water.
But you should listen to your body. If you are hungry, it's your body's way of telling you, I don't have enough fuel right now. And granted, you might not be great at listening to your body's hunger cues because it's hard to tap into. A year ago, if you would have asked me, like, how do you know you're hungry? I would have been like, I don't know. How does anybody know that they're hungry? Like, what do you mean? But now I could tell you what number I'm at based on how my body feels, just with a few months of practice.
I want to try yours because it's like, it's routine too, right? So like if I eat breakfast every single day, which I have for the last month, around the same time every morning, I feel hungry because my body's on that routine. So it's the same thing if you're kind of like an overeater or a chronic eater and you just snack throughout the day, you're going to have those same hunger cravings throughout the day because that's what you've set your body up for. So I learned recently breakfast is not the most fucking important meal of the day. And you do not need to load up on carbs first thing in the morning unless you're doing like a very active fucking lifestyle, which most of us are not. Most of us are sitting for about 10 hours a day after we eat that nice carb heavy breakfast.
ADHD people are actually supposed to have a super protein heavy breakfast.
Protein
heavy? The best for our brains.
So and also being a woman, like playing with your cycle. You're supposed to eat different foods at different times when you're in different phases of your cycle. It's fucking overwhelming. I just want to fucking eat this. Why do we not have pills? It's 2023. Give me pills so I don't have to deal with food anymore.
Yeah, I found like for breakfast in the morning, I used to feel really sick, so I didn't have my pain au chocolats anymore. But that was like a really quick, easy thing to eat. And I just changed last week, I think it was, maybe the week before last week, to having peach Actimels. And like they've got like vitamin D in them. They've got like it's immune support ones and stuff. And I feel way better like having them in the morning now. And it's kind of nice. I always forget like yogurt can be a breakfast thing.
Women too, especially. Well, everybody's cortisol is highest in the morning, which is your stress hormone. It's the highest right when you wake up. And that can make people not hungry in the morning. And it's actually, if that is you and you're waking up and you have anxiety and you're stressed and you're like, you should force yourself to eat breakfast because it will help so much with the cortisol and just like helping your body. But it's hard because it makes you not hungry. I went through that for a while and then I was like, you have to do something in the morning. You have to eat something. So yeah. I do yogurts too because I can just drink them. It's fast.
For a long time, I just didn't have breakfast, and I was like for years and years, like I didn't have breakfast.
Same,
I was like,
yeah.
Healthy. So then I was having the pain au chocolats in the morning because it was just something I could grab and eat at my desk if I needed to. And then they were starting to make me feel sick, and I was like, oh. And then I just went through not having breakfast again, and I was like, oh, I need to do something healthy, and that's when I went for the yogurts because it's just having another liquid to drink, but it fills you up. So it's like a nicer way, I think, to have breakfast.
Breakfast is tough because I feel like, I don't know what it is. I feel like everything I fucking have been eating lately has been like sweet, and I'm sick of sweet. I want more savory options. I don't want everything to taste like sugar, I guess. Even like yogurts and stuff, like it's just sweet. Everything's sweet.
Yeah.
All the fruit is sweet. I don't know. Even like biscuits, they're blueberry. They're sweet. They're chocolate. They're sweet. They're cinnamon. They're sweet. I don't know what kind of biscuit I want, but I'm tired of
What about
everything being
eggs?
sweet.
Eggs is good protein for the morning.
Eggs are good. I can't eat eggs every morning though, right? Like I burn out on eating the same thing every day.
That's
So
what
then I'll try
I'm
like
thinking.
bagels. Bagels are good. But it's like just I don't know. It's not really like nutrition dense, I
I don't know,
guess.
because I don't know if you have them in the US, but in the UK we have like protein bagels. Like you can buy some protein bagels. That
Protein
might be nice.
bagels?
My
I'm gonna look 'em up.
friend with her porridge, she's been putting protein powder in to flavor her porridge, just to get that like bit of protein in the mornings and to
Even
fill herself
protein
up.
powders out here, they're all sweet. They're all chocolate and strawberry and vanilla and
You can get unflavored,
I think there's
just do
like a beef
unflavored.
one here or something.
but
Or
it's you got to put it in smoothies.
something.
Also sweet.
Beef.
Yeah, there is a lot of sweet. The other thing that you can do that I think sometimes helps, and sorry, the reason I was laughing earlier, is my husband came in and he handed me the phone to order food, and it was the exact same place that we got breakfast from yesterday, but it was a new place. So I was just dying, dying laughing because everybody was like, "It's so good." And then this morning, my roommate joked, "Maybe we'll get it again," and I was like, "Yeah, right." So then I was just laughing because they are getting it again. It was really good, but I was like, okay.
Very good.
Honestly,
Very,
I
very
always hear about you guys ordering food so much, and I like live vicariously through you guys. I'm like, I need to order food out more often.
We just do like order online and go pick it up, like takeout. So it's faster.
Yeah. Much
Um,
easier.
I need to do
but
that more.
what I was going to say is, do you know what's so much easier for an ADHD person? You don't have to have breakfast food in the morning. Eat whatever you want. It does not have to be breakfast themed. Like you can make anything. Have ramen for breakfast. Who cares? I
You're
don't know.
blowing my fucking mind right now.
You
'Cause I
can just
never
eat
actually thought about
whatever.
that.
You don't
I
have
never
to eat
actually thought
breakfast
that I wasn't.
food.
It feels wrong. It feels wrong to have
It
a hamburger at
might,
9
but
o'clock in
like,
the morning.
who cares? Have a sandwich, you know? Like,
Braylon is always the person that breaks my fucking brain. She's like, brush your teeth whenever you remember, like during the day or like this or that. It doesn't have to be in the morning or the evening. I'm like, what? What the fuck? What is this? Now
do
you don't
things
even
on
have
your
to
own
dinner?
time.
Totally
Crazy.
normal.
I
Dinner
love
for
it because
breakfast?
you never think.
What?
You never think about breaking the norms, the like rules that you've been told, and it's literally like every time you say something that's like seems so obvious, I'm like, wait, what? You can
Rem-
do that?
Honestly, like who's gonna stop us? We're
I'm just
adults.
reminding you guys that you have free will. Have you ever seen those TikToks where it's like me remembering that I have free will and then them just doing something really weird, like putting a chair on their kitchen table and sitting on top of the chair, and or like just something that like is not a societal norm, and you're like, oh yeah, we can do anything.
You can do
I
whatever the
swear,
fuck I
like,
want. I forgot.
a little me would have like been crazy about the fact that like I'm not having cake for breakfast. I'm not ordering takeout whenever I feel like it. They're just like, what the fuck is happening? What happened to you? Eat ice cream more.
But
I
really,
think, like,
go ahead.
I was gonna say what like fucks with my brain with like stuff like that. It's like I follow a routine.
Yeah.
And if I deviate from the routine, it fucks the rest of the routine. But like
Who
it's
made
okay.
the rules though?
I did.
Oh.
I made them. I'm afraid to break them because I impressed that on myself. Like, who am I?
I think I'm just following.
Who am I to tell me
society
what to do?
rules. So I'm okay to break them when I realize I can. Normally when Braylon reminds me that I
Your
have free will.
rules.
Well, society, like everything that we do in society is like so stupid and made up and doesn't even make any sense half the time. So it's like, just do your own thing. People want to think you're weird. I personally don't care. I am weird. So accurate representation.
Thanks for noticing.
okay, going back to body positivity or body loving, I find it really interesting, and I want to know how you guys feel about this. Like, I love myself, me, but when I say me, I think of like the little spirit orb that lives in the back of my head, right? Like, that's truly me. This is not me. My body is not me. It's that little thing in there. So it's like I love me, but then why can't I why can't I also love the vessel? It's so hard.
Gotta take care of it, right? It's like watering a plant,
Well,
right? 'Cause we're just brains walking around like in meat sacks. Like we are the
actually,
brain.
I'm going to try to remember what Dana said, that body, I like the body neutrality is that you don't have to love your body, you have to respect it. And I think that that might help me because maybe I don't love my body and maybe that's okay right now, but I can definitely respect it and take care of it and look at it and say, this is a thing of value that needs to be taken care of. Like a house. You respect
Something
your
else.
house,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you do maintenance.
A way that you can be kind to your body as well is like slowing down a lot more. So like when you're eating, eat slowly, like make time to eat, make a point to sit down without distractions. Oh.
Yep.
Taste what you're actually eating, because I know so many of us just eat to get to the next point. We're like, okay, I've got stuffed food in my mouth, then I can go back to work, or then I can go enjoy watching a film or something. Breathing, like during the day, take a couple minutes to just breathe, like take 10 deep breaths and check in with your body, like allow yourself to recenter and refocus before you move on with daily tasks. And rest. If you can tell that your body or your mind is exhausted, then it's important to give your body what it needs. Like going to bed early, even if you haven't finished all your chores, even if you're like, oh, I have dishes to do, but I'm actually like so tired I can't keep my eyes open, go to fucking bed. Go to sleep. Like, fucking leave them. They'll still be there tomorrow. Like, it's okay to let your body rest instead of pushing it constantly beyond its means. Like, just remember that your body carries you through every moment and every day, and it deserves your attention and love, and it needs to continue carrying you through the next day and the next moment. So it needs that attention and love to do that for you.
Ooh.
Also, say thank you more to your body, okay? Say fucking thank you more, because every single time you've done something that you don't think you could do, or you're like, hey, I've done this thing and I'm really fucking proud of myself, your body is half of the reason how you were able to do that. So maybe just like say fucking thank you.
Going back to eating slowly, I have a really good tip because I eat really, really fast. Put your oh, Izzo, hello. When you are eating, don't be focused on the next bite that you're gonna take. So that's one thing, because I don't know about you, but I shovel the food in my mouth and then I'm already in on my plate getting my next bite ready. So like, don't be focusing. That she even said, don't look at your food while you're chewing, because you're like, you'll start thinking about like, next bite, and so it helps you to be more present. And then some people say to like put your fork down in between or chew like 20 times. I really try to practice all this, but I just like, I eat so fast I can't stop. I know I have to work on it. But when I have tried those things, they do help. I just have to do them.
Yeah, I normally eat while I'm watching something. So I'm watching a TikTok, or I'm watching TV, or I'm watching, like I've got my phone while I'm eating, and I need to put everything down and just eat. And don't be like eating and then as you're eating, you're cutting up and getting the next bite. Just eat. I mean, I'm quite a slow eater anyway, though. Like I get made fun of for eating slowly, but I'm not being mindful when I'm eating. I'm not like fully being a slow eater.
And they say you should really like enjoy the textures of your food and think about how they feel in your mouth and really like think about the flavors and enjoy them, which I feel like nobody does that.
Because how often, once you've eaten something, if someone said to you, okay, you've just eaten that sandwich, what were your favorite tastes of that? Or like what notes did you know, like you just be like, I don't know, I just ate a fucking sandwich. Like it tastes like a sandwich, it was bread.
I mean, yeah, it did. I don't know. Like, I'm sorry. Like, as we talk about this, I'm like, that's imagine being a fucking man and not having to like thoughtfully chew your goddamn food so that you don't eat too fucking, like, I fucking can't. Like, society fucked us. These this laundry list of new food rules. Like, I just want to eat the goddamn sandwich. Like, I just get so irritated.
Another thing
Why does this have to be
like
such a fucking chore?
Another thing that I think is like really important as well is there's mirror work that you can do to kind of learn to love yourself more, because it's not just your body that we're talking about here, it's like your whole self. And so like you can look into the mirror daily and like instead of listening to all the unkind inner dialogue that will come out and spew out at you of like, oh, you know, this could be smaller or that could be, don't listen to that. Look at yourself in the eyes and tell yourself that you love yourself. Just say I love you to yourself, because that, I think that is really hard for people. I really genuinely think that looking at yourself and saying I love you is something you have to like get used to doing. It's like a very hard thing, I think, when you're first starting to do it. But you can also put positive loving notes on your mirror. It doesn't have to be from yourself, it can just be positive quotes or like something your friends said. Like ask your friend to say something nice or like say something nice about you, and then write whatever they said about you that was nice, put it on your mirror, put it where you know that you're going to look first thing in the morning. Like if you always look at your bedside table, or if you always like go for a drink and have your like kettle, like have it right there. Like have these nice notes of things about yourself that you love or that other people love about you to remind you as you're going throughout your day.
I love that. So, I mean, something also good with mirror work. Clothes are meant to fit you and not the other way around. So if something's not fitting or it's uncomfortable on you, get a different size. That's okay. It's supposed to fit you. The other thing with mirror work, do what you need to do to feel sexy. Buy lingerie. Be naked. That's your body. And there is an audience for it all. Buy the goddamn lingerie. Wear the goddamn lingerie. Look at yourself in the lingerie because you're gorgeous.
There's somebody out there who really likes specifically your body.
Someone would pay for that shit. I remind myself of that all the time. Someone would pay for this shit.
That's a good little like fun reminder. I was just gonna agree with you, Dana, on the mirror work, that I've like talked to people before who were like, I'm really unhappy and I want to just like something easy that I can start with. And I'm like, well, here's something. Say that you love yourself in the mirror. And people are like, no, not that. Like,
no, not that. That's cringe. I don't want to do that because then someone would know that I do that. Honestly, like it's silly.
Well, no, just because they can't, they don't want to. It like feels uncomfortable. But you don't grow by staying the same. That's not how you change.
Growth is uncomfortable.
I found for saying I love you to myself more is I imagine little me, like baby Dana, and I think of her when I say that I love myself, because I'm working on reparenting myself and I'm working on my inner child, and she had to put up with a lot of shit, and that's why we're the way we are now. So it's much easier for me to say that I love her when I look in the mirror and say I love you. And most of the time I'm thinking about her and what she had to go through, and that's
so important.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's also so important.
Cute.
What were your guys' biggest takeaways from this episode?
I got a lot of goddamn work to do still.
Me too. I have so much to unlearn, and that I'm going to focus on body neutrality instead of body positivity, I think, a bit more.
Yeah. I definitely think learning about body neutrality was really interesting.
I think that if I can't love my body right now, I can at least respect it and take care of it. I already am taking care of my body, right? And I am respecting it. So I think I just need to shift the focus off of like really looking at myself and being like, wow, I love the way I look so much. And just being like, wow, I'm so thankful for my body and what it can do. It's a better shift.
I don't know how I'm going to unlearn that, but we'll figure it out.
Really, one step at a time. And one of the things we didn't get to talk about is that you're not alone. You can ask for help. If you're struggling with self-love, ask your friend what they like about you, or, you know, open that conversation, because I can promise you lots of us feel this way. Lots of us struggle with body positivity, body neutrality, loving ourselves. we can talk about it together. We can struggle together, and we can get better together as well.
I love that.
Absolutely.
What was your
I mean,
biggest takeaway, Dana?
Yeah.
Definitely like the body neutrality that I was learning about today was really handy and really interesting. That's like a biggest takeaway I'm going to take away is just like respect. But like what Braylon said about how like eat whenever you're hungry, like the free will thing is such a big thing. Like eat when you're hungry. And also it's nice to know that the fact that like not eating in the morning and feeling sick in the morning is like there's like a genuine reason for it, and that like the yogurts is okay, and like we don't have to have breakfast foods for breakfast if we don't want to.
It's most like core things are so simple, but they're not easy. They're simple, but not easy. Like eat when you're hungry and stop when you're full. Like that's such a simple concept, but to put that into practice is so difficult, and it's going to take you time, and like that's okay. Awesome. Well,
Gotta learn it.
yeah, we're all growing, we're all learning. We do what we got to do. Thank you guys so much for listening in. We hope you found some value. Join us on Discord to access resources mentioned in each episode and find your people. Follow us on social media and tune into our next episode. Ooh, summer self-care tips for staying healthy during summer.
Let's go.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.